Welcome back to the course. Myself, Kamre SR, in our subject, that is fundamentals of crop physiology. In last two lectures, we are discussing about what is meant by mineral nutrition, what are the different macro elements and micro elements. After that, what is meant by hidden hunger, what is criteria of essentiality. These are the things we have gone through. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about what are the different micro elements and what is their role in crop physiology, and also what are the important deficiency symptoms of these particular elements. Okay, so I will share my PPT with you. Okay, so here moving on to the first slide, that is the first element of the group micro elements. Okay, that is copper. Okay, so this is one of the important micro elements. Okay, and what is meant by micro elements? Micro elements is nothing but the nutrients or the elements which are required in very small quantity. So here the specific role of the copper is it is an important constituent of plastocyanin. Okay, plastocyanin is nothing but the copper containing protein which is present in photosynthesis, and if we want to check it actually, then it is present in the photosystem first. Okay, where this plastocyanin is one of the electron acceptor, photon acceptor. So it's a very much important role in the photosynthesis. Secondly, it is also a constituent of several oxidizing enzymes. Okay, so in the metabolic activities of any plant, number of oxidation reduction reactions are going on, and in these oxidation reduction reactions, this copper is an constituent for number of oxidizing enzymes. In the absence of this copper, these enzymes are unable to act in that particular reactions where it is important. So these are the two important specific role of the copper. Then what are the deficiency symptoms? So first, leaves will become chlorotic, then necrotic. Wilting and necrosis are not dominant symptoms. So here in the copper deficiency, we are able to check. So these are the some examples in which this type of the scorching and this rusty dots can be observed at the edge in the initial levels, and later on the full leaf surface will be covered by these particular dots. So these are the important deficiency symptoms of the copper. By observing these type of the deficiencies, we are able to correct it by giving particular copper content fertilizer to the crop. Second one, ferrous, that is also called iron. Okay, the specific role of the iron, in which it is an important constituent of iron porphyrin proteins like cytochrome, peroxidase, catalase, etc. Okay, so again, this cytochrome and peroxidase are playing an important role in the photosynthesis, which is happening in the chlorophyll. It is essential for chlorophyll synthesis. Okay, secondly, the chlorophyll synthesis is one of the important aspect as far as the food formation is being one of the important process of all the green plants. So it is one of the important element because it is required in the chlorophyll synthesis. Next point, it is very important constituent of ferredoxine, which plays important role in photochemical reaction such as photosynthesis and in biological nitrogen fixation. Okay, biological nitrogen fixation means what? So biological nitrogen fixation is nothing but the atmospheric nitrogen is fixed by leguminous group of the plants with the help of their nodules which are present on the roots. Okay, so by using that they are able to fix the atmospheric nitrogens, that is biological nitrogen fixation. So in that process also it is playing an important role. Then moving on to the next point, deficiency symptoms. Now again important deficiency symptoms are there which are developed because of the deficiency of this iron, in which first of all distinct yellow or white areas appear between veins and veins eventually become chlorotic. Okay, so this yellow and white areas are getting formed between veins and veins eventually become chlorotic. Chlorotic means what? The color of the leaf area in between the veins becomes yellowish and then it is eventually dies. Symptoms are rare on mature leaves. So the deficiency symptoms of the iron which are mainly occur on the young and mature young and new leaves, okay, as compared to the mature leaves. In the mature leaves it's very rare, even we are not able to observe the deficiency symptoms on the old leaves. Then the next element is there, that is manganese. In the manganese, the specific roles, first is activator of many respiratory enzymes. Okay, again respiration is one of the important process through which whatever carbohydrates got formed in photosynthesis are again converted into the form of energy through number of reactions, that is respiration. Okay, and in this respiration manganese is playing an important role. Next, it is also an activator of the enzyme, that is nitrite reductase. Okay, so it's one of the important enzyme, that is nitrite reductase, and manganese is required by this enzyme as an activator. In the absence of this manganese, this enzyme, that is nitrite reductase, will not activate, and it's the result in the process which can be carried out by this enzyme will not happen, and plant will suffer because of this absence of the manganese. Next point, it is necessary for the evolution of oxygen, that is during photolysis of the photosynthesis. Okay, in the photosynthesis this photolysis is one of the important process where the photolysis of water takes place and H and O are getting dissociated from this water molecule. Okay, that is photolysis of water, and in that process this manganese is playing an important role. That's why manganese is one of the important factor with respect to the photosynthesis process. Next is the deficiency symptoms, in which first one is the chlorosis is less marked near veins. Means what? Near veins region the chlorosis is there. Some mottling occur in intervenal areas. Okay, so the mottling is nothing but the plant is getting rolled. Okay, and eventually when the deficiency is at critical stage, the leaves are dropped. Then chlorotic areas eventually become brown, transparent, or necrotic. Okay, so these are the important deficiency symptoms of the manganese. Moving on to the next slide. that is zinc. Okay, again, zinc is the one of the important constituent for so many enzymes. Okay, in the absence of zinc or when the zinc deficiency is there, all those enzymes which require zinc as an activator, okay, those enzymes are unable to work because absence of the zinc. And when these enzymes will not work properly, then that reaction will not happen, whatever metabolic activity is there. Okay, and in the absence of that particular activity, plant will suffer. Okay, so this is how the reaction, this is how the dependency of all the metabolic activities and enzymes on these particular elements. Okay, so that's why all the micro elements which are required in very less quantity, okay, very trace amount, but their role is much important as compared to the macro elements, so that the deficiency symptoms of any micro element need to correct on time, then only the normal growth and development will happen of that particular crop, and we will get particular yield or the standard yield. In the absence of these micro elements or in the deficiency, they are not able to grow normally, and they are not able to generate whatever yield is there. Okay, so the specific role of the zinc, that is, it is involved in the biosynthesis of growth hormone, that's auxin in dog 3 acetic acid. Okay, so biosynthesis of the auxin is there. Okay, now growth, what are the growth regulators, that we'll discuss in our next lecture, but for now, just remember that this is a group of growth hormones, that is auxins. Okay, and these auxin require the zinc for their biosynthesis. In the absence of that, there will not be proper synthesis of the auxins. Then second important point, it acts activator of many enzymes like carbonic anhydrase and alcohol dehydrogenase. Okay, so again, it is important for activator for number of enzymes. Next, deficiency symptoms. So what are the important deficiency symptoms? First one is leaves may be abnormally small and necrotic. Internodes are shortened. Internodes are shortened means what? The plant will be dwarf in nature, or it will not achieve their standard height of that particular plant. So these are the two important deficiency symptoms of the zinc. Okay, moving on to the next slide. And next micro element is there, that is boron. Okay, so here in all these lectures, okay, of our mineral nutrition, we are discussing about the specific role and deficiency symptoms. Okay, some photos are also there, so mind it well. In our notes, elaborative or some extra points are given. Okay, some other extra deficiencies are also given, so kindly go through that also. So the specific role of the boron, in which the first point is there, that is boron facilitates the translocation of sugars by forming sugar borate complex. Okay, so it's one of the important role of the boron. Okay, that is when this sugar or carbohydrate is getting formed in the leaf region. Okay, generally it forms in the leaf region, and from that particular site it is providing or transporting it to all the remaining parts of the plant. Okay, that is translocation of sugar, in which this boron is playing an important role. Next, it involved in cell differentiation and development, since boron is essential for DNA synthesis. Okay, so cell differentiation is nothing but the formation of the daughter cells from the parent by the process of cell division. Okay, which is also called as cell differentiation, and in that DNA synthesis takes place in the S phase of cell division, where it requires boron. In the absence of boron, this cell differentiation or cell division will not be normal, and it affects the growth and development of the plant. So boron is one of the important with respect to our cell division. Next is also involved in fertilization, hormone metabolism, etc. Okay, so it is one of the important element with respect to the fertilization also. Next, that is deficiency symptoms of the boron. Okay, so mind it well, the deficiency symptoms of this boron will be different in different crops. Okay, so we need to collect the general symptoms or common symptoms which occur because of the deficiency of boron. So the first one, young expanding leaves may be necrotic or distorted, followed by death of growing points. So as we know, in the first lecture itself, we have discussed okay, in which the deficiency symptoms of the boron will appear first on tip region. Okay, that's why here it's given that young and expanding leaves, which are nothing but the growing parts, growing points of the plant, where the deficiency of the boron will appear and it become necrotic and distorted, followed by the death of growing points. Next point, internodes may be short, especially at shoot terminals. Okay, again at the shoot terminal we will get the deficiency, that is internodes get shorter because of the absence or deficiency of the boron. Then another point, that is stems may be rough, cracked or split along the vascular bundles. Okay, here so here, so some points are there related to the stem and also cracked. Okay, so here it is image, first image is given, that is pomegranate, where the cracking is happening in the absence or deficiency of the boron. And in the second image we are able to check that again here rough and the stem region is quite splitted. Okay, and it will become die or it will die. Okay, when this deficiency will continue or we are not correcting such deficiencies, then plant will have to suffer, and because of that our yield is get affected. We will not get the proper or standard yield. Okay, that's why the correction of these all deficiency symptoms on time is much necessary for getting better yields. Next, that is molybdenum. Now this molybdenum is also required in very trace amount, but in the absence of this also plant will suffer. That's why it is also one of the important thing. The specific role, it is constituent of the enzyme nitrate reductase and thus plays an important role in nitrogen fixation or nitrogen metabolism. Okay. Second, it is essential for flower formation and fruit setting. Okay, so it's playing an important role. Okay, because fruit setting and flower formation is directly proportional to the yield which we are getting. Okay, if there is a no flower formation and fruit setting, then from where we'll get the proper yield? That's why molybdenum is also playing an important role. Second, deficiency symptoms, in which molybdenum deficiency causes intraveinal chlorosis of older leaves. Okay, so here one of the element which is showing deficiency symptoms on the older leaves. Okay, second, flower formation is inhibited. Okay, inhibited or it will get stopped up when critical stage of deficiency is there. And the last one, that is it causes whiptail disease in cauliflower plant. Okay, now here like this, so many examples are there of the crops where an particular deficiency occurs on a particular crop. So you may go through a number of examples. For our understanding, we are discussing one by one only in each element. Okay, so you may go through the number of examples. So here it is, it causes whiptail disease in cauliflower. Like that in the diagram, because of the deficiency in the citrus group of the plants, these type of the patches are getting formed on the leaf, and it affects the overall growth and development of the particular group of plant, that is citrus. Okay, so these are the important role and deficiency symptoms of the micro element, that is molybdenum. So overall, when we are discussing about the role of these micro elements, we come to know that many micro elements are required by the different enzymes which are carrying out a particular reaction in the plant body. Okay, so some enzyme may be required for the photosynthesis, some may be required for the respiration. Okay, and for their activation, these all micro elements are playing an important role. So micro elements, even it is required in very small or less quantity, it playing an important role. That's what we need to understand. Okay, so we will stop here, and at this point our mineral nutrition is completed. In the next lecture we will start with the photosynthesis. Thank you.